Hey everybody, a little bit of a different video today. This time I'm looking for maybe a little help from you. I've got an issue here on the bench and maybe you've got a solution. Let's take a look. So I'm on the bench playing with this Hewlett-Packard 3400B wideband RMS voltmeter and working on a couple of ideas for a future video. But the voltages that I'm measuring, particularly just the noise voltages I'm measuring here, were a bit higher than I expected them to be. So I wanted to try to figure out what was going on, so I took a look at the same circuit with my oscilloscope. Alright, so here's what I see on the scope, looking at the same spot in the circuit that I'm seeing with the meter. And note that my circuit is turned off. And I've got the scope bandwidth set to 20 megahertz, which is the same measurement bandwidth as this meter is. So it would indicate, well, that's probably why I'm seeing all this noise. I'm seeing that here on the scope. And those little bursts that you see, the repetition interval is about 75 kilohertz, so that smells an awful lot like some kind of a switching power supply or something like that that's going on here on the bench. Now keep in mind, this circuit that I'm looking at right now is turned off, so this is just picking up noise from the bench setup here. So I went around my bench here, looked at what was plugged in, what was turned on, what was turned off, and what I found quite unexpectedly, if I take my switch for my LED under shelf lighting here and I turn it off, boom, all that noise just went away. Now this is just a simple 4 LED under cabinet or under shelf strip that I mounted here a few years ago, and I picked it up from just a local home center from Home Depot. Now of course, I know that the power supply in here is what's at fault, and I could probably go in and tear this light apart and see if I could put some ferrites on it or somehow quiet it down. But what I'm looking for is maybe a quick and better solution. So here's the question for you. Do any of you have a better recommendation for a light like this? Low profile, maybe a half an inch or so, less than an inch or so in terms of depth. And I only need about 2 to 3 feet long in terms of how much space I want to illuminate, and gives me some good light without giving me all that RF hash and all that noise. Something that's as quiet as that, but gives me good light like that. So has anybody found a good light source that will meet that requirement? If you have, give me a comment down below. But beware, YouTube does not like comments with URLs in them. If you put a URL in there, YouTube doesn't even post the comment. So give me a product model number, model name, and maybe where you found it on Amazon or whatever it might be, without giving me the full URL. Because if you give me that, it won't get posted, I won't see it. I'm looking forward to seeing what ideas you have, and if you found some better lighting solutions than what I'm using here. Thanks again for watching. I look forward to your comments. Thank you.